Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm doing a video today where I'm comparing the features or some of the extra features that you get on my A7 IV that I'm using now to record this video versus my A7C that I've been using for a long time and I'm very happy with, and I won't be moving or I won't be selling, so I'm keeping my A7C. But some of the things that you get with the A7 IV that might influence your decision as to whether you actually buy it or not. So I've actually written them down. So as you can tell, I'm not very prepared, but as I said, I just wanted to document this. It's not going to be a technical video at all. It's just going to be a user level. So I'm a fairly serious amateur photographer, videographer, but I'm not going to be going into real technical depth here. It's just user level stuff. So the first thing is the autofocus. So autofocus, you get both animal, bird and human eye autofocus for stills and video. So very important to be aware of that. The handling, in my opinion, for the A7 IV is fantastic. Now obviously the A7C is brilliant for what it's designed to do. So it's compact, it's light, it's it's travel friendly. But if you're stepping up your requirements in terms of more serious photography, so for example, I was out on a photo shoot yesterday using my 200-600mm Sony lens, and I've used it on this before, but it looks a bit silly, the weighting's a bit off. But using the A7 IV on that lens, it's much more ergonomically balanced, and I just feel that the ergonomics of the A7 IV is actually much better in terms of weight, size versus comfort. But this is not to say that the A7C is a poor camera in terms of design. It's not. It's designed perfectly good for what it needs to do. Along similar lines, the amount of customization options that you have on the A7 IV are much greater. Again, it's not a negative. It's just around the form factor of the A7C. You're obviously limited in what you can do in terms of customization. Not so much on the A7 IV, and you have plenty of customization that you can do. There's several customized buttons that you can use. Really user friendly in that sense as well. You get 10-bit video on the A7 IV as well. So again, if that's important to you and what you do with your cameras, important that you might be aware of that. And it also works USB live streaming without needing an app or third-party applications. So you just plug in your USB and away you go. It's literally that simple. In my experience as well, the image app, the Sony image app, works much better with the A7 IV. So I don't know whether that's just my experience or but it seems to work better with the Sony app. The integration seems to work better. Again, might just be my experience. You get separate settings for your stills and your movies, so you can seamlessly go from stills to movies without having to do any changing of settings or remember settings. Very handy feature by just tweaking the dial. You also get S-Cinetone picture profile for movies as well. So again, if that's important to you in terms of what you do, it's good to know that S-Cinetone comes as standard with the A7 IV. One personal thing for me that I find like a big game changer is the active steady shot on the A7 IV. Makes making movies and vlogs just so much easier. It's significantly better in terms of active stab in the camera versus the A7C, as you'd expect. So again, it's not a criticism of the A7C, but in terms of having that better movie experience in terms of vlogging or making a movie, the active steady shot, although it does have a slight crop, is a massive improvement for movies and a big thing for me. So again, a massive plus. It also comes with focus breathing compensation. So if you're using Sony lens, it does work with only Sony lenses, unfortunately. But if you're using some Sony lenses on the A7 IV that suffer from some focus breathing, you've the compensation option within the A7 IV body now to remedy that, which is very useful for anybody that's invested in expensive Sony lenses and they want to use them for movies, but they're suffering a little bit with that focus breathing. So that's my list. It's not technical, it's just I've only had the camera 2 days, so I'm still getting used to it, still getting to know the camera. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's better than the A7C. I wouldn't make it a better or worse comparison. I would just say it's different. It's probably a better hybrid camera in that sense in terms of what it can do. But as I said, I'm not selling my A7C. I'm keeping it. It's a brilliant camera and I love it, but I really am happy with my investment into the A7 IV for both photos and for movies. So that's my roundup. Again, not technical, but just my kind of 2-day experiences so far. I might do another video where it's more in depth at a later stage, but if you have any questions, as I said, I'm not an expert, but I'm a very serious amateur photographer and videographer. So if you have any questions or comments, pop them down below in the comments and I'll give you my honest answers and feedback. And with that said, many thanks for stopping by and watching the video. Appreciate it.